Hello, and thanks for calling Uber. Long trip or short trip? All depends. Before I start, I will tell you this. During the COVID, we got introduced to promotions, and you could take like 30, 40, 50, 60, or 70 trip and get a bonus. That was exciting to take super, super small trips. Like a lot of us enjoy that. Like I remember at a point you could make up to 400, I think, for 70 trips. It was back in March, April, which is a long time. So long trips, short trips, all depends. Short trips is okay. Sometime when you want a promotion. Personally, I like average trip, not too long, not too short. But I don't mind. I take every trip. It can be a mini trip. Personally, I would take because when I come to trip, when I come to drive, I got one slogan: long trip, short trip, I ain't tripping. That's my slogan. So I don't really mind. A long trip all depends because sometimes you take long trip, like a couple times I took long trip going to the next city like 2, 3 hours over. It's okay to go there, but then on the way back, if you don't have any trip, it can be a little challenging. It can be a little challenging. I'm telling you this. So personally, long trip, short trip, all depend on what you have to do. Like I pick up my son after school, so I know on weekdays I can afford to take a long trip over like what is it, 200 minutes. So usually what I do, I try to keep it below 50 miles. You can set it in your app if you want to. You don't have to take trips over 50 miles. I don't like to ignore trips, but usually you can set it up. So what I do, 2 hours before I'm supposed to go pick up my son, I just gotta get off the app because I feel bad when I decline or ignore trip. Personally, I feel super bad. I don't know why, because I started Uber back in the days when you have to take trips. So I still have the thing in the back of my mind. I'm not scared, but I don't like to ignore trips because I feel like when somebody requests a trip, they need my help. I'm serving. Just like the police protect and serve, we pick up and serve. So long trip, short trip, all depends. If there's a good promotion going on, people will be a lot of drivers will be happy taking short trips because it fills up like quickly, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10. So I would say long trip all depends on the time of what you got going on. But if you go over 50 miles, that means about an hour drive. Sometime it might be challenging, but an hour in Houston, you're still in the city, so it's relatively okay. But over 1 hour and 30 minutes, 2 hours, you can take. But I'm not sure about the way back, unless you can score the way back or something. Like one time, I took a trip all the way to Baytown. It was Bowman to Baytown. It was like an hour and 30 minutes. I got there, and I was way back. That was cool. I have another customer, so that was wonderful. One time I went to that weird city on the way to San Antonio. I got stuck. Nobody back. And once I went all the way to San Antonio, but it's cool now. You can work there. Actually, I will have another video about driving out of town statewide. I drove a little bit to San Antonio, and they offered me a cash trip back. People don't feel comfortable with cash trip, but personally, I know these people, they were all right. So I took a chance to get back to Houston, at least with somebody. So it was nice that day, and I got a chance to see a friend over there. So that's how I would say for that. Personally, long trip, short trip, I ain't tripping. Thanks for choosing Uber.